Actor Zachery Ty Bryan pleads guilty to felony assault stemming from domestic violence arrest. Home improvement. Actor Zachery Ty Bryan was previously arrested and charged for domestic violence in 2020. Home improvement. Star Zachery Ty Bryan on Wednesday pled guilty in an Oregon courtroom to felony assault in the fourth degree constituting domestic violence. As part of a negotiated resolution, which dismissed the second count of assault in the fourth degree, Bryan will only be required to serve 7 days in jail instead of 19 to 20 months in the Oregon Department of Corrections, Lane County Chief Deputy District Attorney Chris Perosa confirmed in a statement to Fox News Digital. Bryan, 42, was arrested in July after authorities were called regarding a physical domestic dispute between Bryan and an unnamed woman, Fox News Digital confirmed at the time. He was then charged with 2 counts of assault in the fourth degree. Representatives for Bryan did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment. The terms of the negotiated resolution included dismissal of the second count and a stipulation to a 7D grid block on the Oregon felony sentencing guidelines, which calls for a presumptive 19 to 20 months in the Oregon Department of Corrections, Perosa said. Perosa also confirmed the 7 days of jail will come with credit for time served, which may be served at this point. Bryan will now receive a downward dispositional departure to 36 months of supervised probation and standard domestic violence conditions including no contact with the victim without the probation officer's approval, treatment for alcohol, substance abuse issues at the direction of the probation officer, and no alcohol or drugs. Perosa also stated, in the event that Mr. Bryan does not live up to the obligations of the probation, he will be brought back before the court and subject the 19 to 20 months of prison that the court suspended. Zachery Ty Bryan mugshot. Bryan was arrested in 2020 in Eugene, Oregon, following a domestic incident. Lane County Jail. Bryan was previously arrested in 2020 and entered a guilty plea stemming from an altercation with girlfriend Johnny Faye Cartwright, in which he allegedly tried to strangle her at their apartment in Eugene, Oregon. The charges were menacing, constituting domestic violence, and assault in the fourth degree, constituting domestic violence. He downplayed the domestic violence charges when pleading guilty in 2021, and said in a recent interview that the incident had been blown out of proportion. "We didn't even really get that physical. We got really loud. We were screaming, and because we were in a townhome that had thin walls everybody could hear," Bryan told The Hollywood Reporter. "Johnny was, at the time, just really upset about my situation." Bryan added, "At the end of the day, the police throw a bunch of counts at you because they ultimately want you to plead to something. I could have fought it, but that's more stress and drama. I got 2 misdemeanors and called it a day." Police said at the time that Bryan assaulted the victim, impeded her breathing, and took the victim's phone from her when she tried to call 911, according to E! News. Bryan claimed in the police report at the time, obtained by The Hollywood Reporter, that Cartwright attacked him and that she was setting him up to ruin his career. Bryan played Brad Taylor, the oldest son of Tim, the tool man, Taylor, the character played by Tim Allen on the popular sitcom Home Improvement, which ran from 1991-1999. Bryan has acted intermittently since then, including a role in 2006's The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, and most recently, The Guardians of Justice.